I'm nervous, I'm nervous. Hi, hello. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm so nervous. For those of you who do not know, hi, my name is Paige. That's actually probably not known since this is technically the first video on here. But this is kind of, I'm gonna talk for a little bit because I'm nervous, but this is like a branch off channel from what I normally do, which is art. But I wanted to start posting more book content, but it just does not align with the channel I had previously, which is linked in the description if you are new to me, just period. But hi, my name is Paige. I do a lot of different forms of content, this channel being books, obviously, and I'm very excited to get started with you today. It is December 12th, which is like practically the end of December in my mind, like the end of 2023, which is insane. I didn't even realize we started 2023. But with that being said, at the beginning of this year, I made a list of 24 books that I wanted to read in this year, you know, and I have not gotten through all of them, which is very embarrassing. I've read 60 books and I have not read the entirety of that list. This is the first year that I actually like fell into the whole reading rabbit hole again since like middle school, when I would read like 15 books in a week. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, I loved reading in middle school, but then high school happened and then college, and I just not finally, but I'm getting back into it and I'm loving reading again, and I hope that I continue to, right? But at the beginning of this year, I'm like, oh, I set my reading goal. I have Goodreads, and I set my reading goal on Goodreads to 24 books. I'm like, oh, these are the 24 books I want to read. And I stuck to the list for a while. I read a bunch of them, I think. A little less than half of the list I read. And we have 10 books on that list I haven't read. I read 14 then. I read 14 of the books. That's actually pretty good. And there's 10 that I haven't read. 6 of them are from a book series that I actually will not be reading in this video, because the whole reason that series was put on my list was because I wanted to annotate the books. Because it's one of my favorite series of all time. Like, ever. Like, I've read it twice and I'm gonna read it again. But because I want to annotate it, I'm not going to do that this year, because my annotating stuff is all in boxes because my family is still in the process of moving. However, there are 4 books that we are going to read that will round off my list, and I'm just going to call it good for this year because this move was not planned. We were not planning on moving, so I could have done all 10, but you know, now I can't. But let's talk about the 4 books that we are going to read. These right here are our books. Let me introduce you to each of them, and then we will pick the one that we're going to start with. The first one is Miss Rule by Heather Walter. Walter, I believe, right? Yeah, Heather Walter. This is the second book in the what is it called? Malice duology. Is Malice and Miss Rule. I read Malice earlier this year and I gave it away as a gift. Like, I annotated it and gave it away as a gift to my at the time girlfriend, and I was going to give her this one as well, but oh my god, it got so bad. I am not enjoying this at all. I have technically been reading this since February. I have not picked it up since February. I am literally 60% of the way through. You can see I've annotated this. I'm 60% of the way through, and I'm going to push through the last 40 because I just want to be over with the storyline, but like, I need to know what happens because there's lesbians in the book. I'm not kidding you, that is why we were going to finish this book. With that being said, I am not going to annotate the rest of this book, because it's pissing me off to the point where I'm like, I don't even want to read it, let alone annotate it. So I'm just going to read it, and then maybe we'll use the pages in here for like a craft project in the future to like make those book flowers or something, but I am not keeping this, right? This book is dead to me. Moving on from that, we have The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. I don't read backs of books, like I don't know much going into books. That's how I prefer to read. But what I know about this one is that it's a thriller, and that's all I know. I'm assuming it takes place in Paris, in some sort of apartment, and that's all I know about this one. The third one is Fire Becomes Her by Rosie Thor. No idea what this one's about. I was just like, ooh, pretty cover, and it's been sitting on my shelf. I think this might be a fantasy. It's a fantasy and something to do with fire. That's all I know. I think this is a standalone. I'm not too sure. Like I said, I don't read backs of books. I don't read what books are about. I just pick it up, read it, and if I don't like it, I don't like it. But that leads us to our 4th and final book, which is The Scratch Daughters by H.A. Clark. I just read the first book in this series, The Scapegracers, and I loved that book. It was so good. I gave it 3.5 stars, the first one. I loved it. but it was slow, and I didn't realize going into this. I thought this was a duology. It's not. The third book is coming out next year, and when you go into either duologies or trilogies, all 3 books or all 2 books are action-packed the whole time, which is what I was expecting, but it's a whole series, and if you know anything about reading, either the first 1 or 2 books, or 3, depending on, you know, how long the series is literally just getting to know the characters, and the plot, and the storyline, and it's, like, slow as hell, and I didn't know that going in, but, I'm very excited to read this one, now that I know who the characters are and what they're about. Like, I'm so excited to read more about the story. I just realized I didn't tell you what this is about when I actually know. What I will tell you, in case you don't like reading backs of books, is witches, lesbians, hella lesbians, and just so much chaotic energy goes into these books. It feels like middle school, if I can put that in, like, the best way possible. It feels like the times of middle school that you enjoyed, you know. But these are our 4 books that I'm hoping to finish this week, because it's already almost the end of December. But we are going to start, for the first one, The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley, because, and I'm not kidding you, it's because this one is an audiobook, and I'm gonna listen to it on 2 times speed so I can get done with it sooner. I haven't, like, actually finished a book in a couple of days, and I feel really, like, unaccomplished. So we are going to read The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley to start off with, and we're going to go from there. Let's go read our first book. I'm very excited. Hello and good afternoon. It's technically the afternoon. I started The Paris Apartment. I started The Paris Apartment last night, and I read about 80 pages of it. And then I woke up this morning, and all I've been doing this morning is reading this book, or technically I've been listening to it because there's a free audiobook of it on Spotify, Spotify Premium, and that I've been listening to it while, like, having the book open, just because it helps me read faster. And I'm a little bit stressed about getting all these books done before the end of December. Anyways, a wonderful, glorious book. Like I said, I read 80 pages of this last night, and during those 80 pages, I wasn't really confused, but we were literally just getting introduced to, like, you know, the story. I don't even think you know what happens going in. You don't, and I don't want to spoil anything. Wow, you literally know nothing. Okay, so The Paris Apartment is pretty much, I'll give you, like, a rundown, okay? I'll give you, like, very, very vague. I don't even know how to describe it. Oh my gosh. Let's start over. In the least spoiling amount possible, I'm just gonna let you know what happens in the first 80 pages. I'm not gonna spoil anything big that happens, but just, like, you know, baseline, so we have something to talk off of. But our main character is Jess, and I say it with quotes because you technically follow, I think it's like 5 different people's points of view in this book. And it's not even that confusing, actually. Wonderful Lucy, did a very good job of not making it confusing. Like, I can understand what's happening. But Jess is kind of our main person. She has traveled to Paris to live with her brother, Ben, who, when she shows up, is not there. Ben's missing. That's kind of our mystery, right? That's all I'm going to tell you. But that's kind of what I learned last night. That was what was happening, and now, you know, Jess is trying to find her brother. But as we progress through the story, everyone in this book is freaking insane. And not even, like, you can't tell reading about them that they're crazy, right? It's that we just kind of got a big thing. I think it was huge. I don't technically know. I was just like, right? And it's like, what the actual, this is happening. Like, why? And everyone acts so casual about it, and I don't understand. I don't understand how the people who are living in this apartment, like there's different apartments, right? How they're there and how it all like, and why they're all there. And it's, oh my gosh. But I just finished reading Sunday, so this book is broken up into days, and that is a little bit over 200 pages. I'm on page 205, and it's a little bit over halfway, I think it's a little bit over halfway, and I want to know what happens, right? Is it my favorite thriller I've ever read? No, because there are times where it's kind of slow, and I'm like, let's pick up the pace, right? Like, we learn a little bit more about like the characters and their backstory rather than finding Ben, which I don't really care about in thrillers. I'm like, just tell me why this is happening. Where has he gone? Who has taken him? And the cat, is the cat okay? There's a cat, and I'm just obsessed with this cat. But those are my current thoughts. They are a little bit all over the place, I will be honest. But again, with thrillers, I can't really give like my full and complete thoughts until the end, because that's how I rate your thrillers. Right, you rate your thriller based off of the ending, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna like this ending. I don't know, because I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I literally have no idea. I have no idea who has taken him, why. Like, I don't get it, right? Normally I have some kind of idea, or I'm right on the money. I don't know. Where has he gone? Why has he gone? Like, I don't know. Anyways, those are my current thoughts. I am very, very excited to finish this. We are definitely finishing this today. I think I have 4 hours left in the audiobook, but I'm listening to it on 2 times speed, so 2 hours left we have with our glorious little book. And I'm very excited to finish it with you. Are y'all ready? We're gonna go back and we're gonna continue reading The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. Hello. Okay, so let's do a quick little book check-in. The last time we talked was yesterday, about midday, I think, maybe a little bit later into the afternoon. I can't actually remember. But I told you we were going to go finish our book. I, in fact, did not finish the book, and the clip that you just saw was me reading this morning. However, I'm still working through this book, so let's have a little chat. I don't know if you could tell, but when I was reading, I literally just went through like 2 kind of big things. They were big things to me because I like to think that they are. I still don't know what's going to happen, right? Like, I still really don't know. I don't know. The apartment's weird. I can say that much. But I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I am just so completely, like, baffled. But I have a little bit over 100 pages left with the audiobook that is like an hour and what is it? An hour and 15 minutes. If I listen to it on 2 times speed, which is what I'm doing. So I am in fact going to go finish this now. I'm very excited to know what happens. I want to know, you know, like, I want to know. I'm going to go actually finish The Paris Apartment, and we will talk tonight when I do finish it. I'm not going to film me finishing this book because I'm technically only going to listen to the audiobook because I have some things I need to work on, but I want to finish the book. So I'm going to go listen to the rest of this book. If you call that cheating, okay, it's cheating, but most of it I have been reading it. I'm rambling again. But yeah, I'm going to go finish The Paris Apartment. Why am I holding it like that? Chokehold. Okay, I'm gonna go finish The Paris Apartment. Sounds like a dolphin. I finished this earlier today, probably 6-7 hours ago now. I did not like it. Okay, so I don't even know where to start with this one. I did not like it, and it's not just the ending that fucked with me. I just really did not like this one, just in general. Yeah, no, I genuinely just, it irks me. The ending makes sense. It does. I'm not mad at the ending. I am mad at how the whole thing was constructed. And also just like the pacing of this book was really weird for me. Like there was some times where we weren't even really focused on like the thriller aspect where we were trying to solve. We were just learning more about backstories, which makes sense, but it's like this doesn't really tell me anything, right? Like it tells me a little bit, but sometimes it's like, God, you know, I don't know. I really, in the kindest way possible, I can't think of anything that I liked about this book plot-wise. The writing was nice. I like the writing, but I am not thrilled by this thriller. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, it was so disappointing. I think I gave it either a 2 or a 2.5 on Goodreads. I can't remember, but I think it's a 2. It's a 2 out of 5. Yeah, I didn't like it. Sorry to disappoint. I know some people really like this one, especially Lucy Foley, and I've heard her thrillers are good. I really hope this one was just a fluke, because I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Let's move on. The next book from our 4 that we are going to read is Miss Rule. I'm already 60% of the way through with this one, so this one should be easy to crack down and finish up on. I don't know if I'm going to start. I don't know if I'm gonna work through it tonight. We will see. But I don't think I mentioned this either, but this book is split into parts, and I'm on part 3, and there's only 3 parts, so I'm like practically done with this book. I will not be tabbing it, and I will not be annotating it. I have the stuff to annotate it. This book just pisses me off to the point where I don't want to. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm going to try. I'm going to read at least 3 chapters, but if I get pissed off again and I don't like it, I am going to DNF it, because I've been trying to read this since February of the beginning of this year. 11 freaking months, and I'm not going to have this on my TBR for 2024 if I'm not going to like it. It's okay to DNF a book. It took me a really long time to realize that, but I do want to know what happens, so I'm going to try to get through. Oh my god, I really dislike this one. I'm going to try to get through Miss Rule. I know I already mentioned I don't know if we will start this tonight, and I don't know. I might just get like a taste of the waters tonight, do a couple of chapters, and then check back in with you in the morning and go from there. Honestly, that's probably what I'll do. But this one's not on Kindle, which is sad because I like to read on my Kindle at night, but that's okay. Yeah. Alrighty. Let's go read Miss Rule. It is now the evening, obviously. I just said that. and reading did happen today, but not in the way I intended it to. So let's have a little sit down chat and talk about my reading for today. Now, you probably already saw what happened while I was filming it, but this one, oh my god, I tried. I promise you, I really did try. I sat down and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read, and I'm gonna try my best, right? I read a chapter and a half, and the main character's actions and just how much of a, like, for lack of a better word, like a bully she has become it's so beneath reading that I'm like, I literally cannot. Like, it was even at a point where like the plot was kind of getting a little bit better. I'm like, ooh, I want to know what's happening here, right? But the way our main character interacts with everybody else, it peeves me, especially the other female protagonist in this. I cannot explain to you how much, like, I hate it. I hate it so much, and I can't stand it anymore. So I did DNF this, and I really didn't want to. I really didn't, because I'm like, okay, you know, let's put it aside and I'm gonna actually try. I literally couldn't get through 20 pages. I literally couldn't, right? Because I'm like, God, here we go again. So I DNF'd this one. I apologize if you're disappointed, but I literally cannot. After I put that one down, I did indeed pick up the third book on my 2023 Physical TBR, which is Fire Becomes Her by Rosie Thor. If you saw, I completely freaked out when I opened the book. It's freaking signed. I didn't know it was signed. Not only is it signed, but it says burn it down. I had no idea. Like, there was no sticker or anything when I bought this. I just didn't know, so I had a little freak out moment. But I've been reading this wonderful book, and oh my god, it's such an improvement. I did not read the back of this book, the literal story of my life, and I'm really glad I did not, because I have a feeling it would give away what happened within like the first 60 pages, and I don't really want to know what it says, right? Anyways, this book is 100% fantasy. There is a magical element to it, but I'm not going to spoil anything because I don't think this was stated, but I really enjoy how this magic is used and how these characters come into their magic. It's something I haven't seen before, and I'm liking that so far. It's very political based. Like, we are currently with a senator, and he's running for a presidency, and our main character, her name is, she has a name, Ingrid, and she's like an intern under him, right? But it's not like a political thing. Like, I don't understand what's happening. Like, it's dumb enough that I can understand fantasy politics, and it makes sense, and I love it. I love Ingrid. I can't say I love any of the other characters. Everyone's kind of a dick, but I love Ingrid, and I love like her purpose, right? It's beautiful, and I'm very excited to keep reading this one. I am only 100 pages in. And I've debated whether or not I'm gonna finish this tonight. I don't think I'm going to, just because I have an appointment tomorrow at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I feel like if I stay up and read this, that would be a very bad idea. So I'm gonna read more of this tonight. I'm very, very much enjoying this one, a lot more than the last one, and a lot more than Paris Apartment too, actually. But I'm very excited. I love this. I love it, you know, and it's signed. I didn't know that. Oh, one thing I will point out, I have been reading so many books that have been in first person. This is not in first person, it's in third person. So when the first like descriptive paragraph came, I'm like, wait, hold on, what's happening? Like, my brain actually went on overload for a second. So if you're not a third person girly, you'll probably not like this one. It's okay. I don't want to say I'm struggling, like I made the flip switch pretty quick, but I'm just like, go back to first person please, right? But not like a bad way, just in a I'm not used to it way. But I'm gonna stop rambling about this now, and we are gonna go read a little bit more of Fire Becomes Her tonight. I don't have this on my Kindle, which I'm devastated about, because I can't read in the dark. But I am going to read a little bit more of this tonight. So let's go and read a book now. sat down and talked. The last time I believe we had a conversation was Friday night. Right? Was it Friday night? I think it was Friday night. I don't know. It was 2 days ago. Right? Or 8 days ago? I don't know. We didn't talk yesterday, so I guess it's 2 days ago. And we talked about how I was starting. Was I starting this book? I don't know what's going on. I do remember though that I introduced you to our book, which is Fire Becomes Her. I don't know where the dust jacket is. Whoops, sorry. I don't read my hardcovers with a dust jacket on, so I apologize for the lack of dust jacket, but here's our beautiful book. I can just like, that's upside down and backwards. Fire Becomes Her. Let's have a talk. I am probably a little bit over 70% through this. 236 of like 358, I think it was when I looked. I like just looked too. Yeah, 358. So I'm getting up there. And we need to talk. Oh my god. Going into this video, I did not think I was going to find a 5-star read or one that was even remotely close, because these are all, from looking at them on like my bookshelf and stuff, right, for me they all seemed just like middle of the road reads or ones that I wouldn't like completely love, right? But this freaking book, oh my god. The basis of the story revolves mostly around the politics of this world, and there's like a what's it called, a candidacy, a president candidacy going on right now where someone new is going to get become a president, and we are smack dab in the middle of that, like in the presidency, and I love it. I do. I did not take myself to be a political girly. I thought I was just like oh, I like people killing each other for no reason, but the messages that are in this book and the way that the world portrays money, but not as money but as magic, like I'm so in love with it, because it just shows like how rich people get richer and poorer people don't, and that's such a controversial topic to talk about, and I don't want to bring that into this, but the words this author uses, I'm just like, oh my god, yes. Adding to that, our main character is literally someone who came from literally nothing, right? And I'm giving too much away, I'm so sorry, but I need to talk about this. But the main character is someone who came from nothing, literal nothing, and now she's made her way to like the top of the charts, right? And she says that she did it because she wants to be respected, and she wants power, and she wants to feel like she is someone, like she has a purpose, right? And that is just the most like understanding, like I get it, right? Like I get it. And I think the thing that makes it even better is that the main character is my age, literally the same exact age. She's 17 years old. She's on an internship, right? Just starting out in the world, and all that she wants to be is respected and feels like an actual person. And on top of that, I think she's queer. Like what? I didn't even know there was queer representation in this book. I love this book so much, and usually when I love a book this much, I am flying through it, like I can't get enough of it. But this one, the way that it's written, I'm not, and it's not because I love it, right? I love it. I want to, like, in no way shape or form is this a bad book. Like, it is one of my favorites I've read in a really long time, but I don't want to leave the world, like, because like it's like I understand, and like I just, oh my god. In the time that I have been filming book videos, I don't think I have ever felt like so passionate about a book that I feel the need to like compulsively talk about it, like mouth spew about it. Like I am so, oh my gosh, I love it. But with that being said, I am going to finish this book tonight, and that's what we're going to do. I know the second that I read this book, that I finish this book, no matter how it ends, I'm going to say it's a 5-star immediately after I finish it. So we're not going to talk then. Because I know I'm just like, 5 stars, 5 stars, I want this one, I want it to be my book. But I'm going to need to sit with it first. I know I'm going to need to sit with it, and I need to sit with most books. So we're going to go finish Fire Becomes Her, and I am so incredibly excited to finish this book. Let's go read for like 2 hours. Hello, it is the morning and our book is finished. I did in fact read 150 pages of this book last night. No, I don't want to talk about how late I was up. It was very late. I'm gonna put this down because I need my hands to talk about this one. Everything that I have said previously about this book still rings absolutely true. And because of that, this rating was very hard to give for this book. Just because for me, this one did not feel like other books I've read where I'm going to base my rating off of the plot and based off of that alone, which is not what I do for all the books that I read, but for some of them just like, well, the characters lacked, so let's look at the plot, you know? But this book is the exact opposite. I've seen the plot before, and I'm sure people have seen the way the magic has been used before. I just haven't. And there were a couple of twists and turns that I expected. Like, there was one at the last 150 pages of the book regarding an element of the story that we didn't talk about, I don't believe. So I'm not going to spoil that because it's very important. And I knew what was happening 100 pages in, right? But I didn't care. The part of the story that was so compelling to me is the words the characters use between each other, like our main characters, and the relationships, and how this book talks a lot about like how love is not just romantic and it's not just platonic, and how, you know, there's queer representation, but it's a lot deeper, and it's a lot more something I've never seen talked about in a book before. And I loved that aspect of it. And then also, like, you know, the political side where the politics are just absolutely, you know, not great. And it's very similar to how I feel some of the world is working right now, and it's just, I don't know why I waited so long to read this book. It's a beautiful book. Now, I know you're probably waiting on my rating because that's very important, and I have sat with my feelings for a whole 2 hours, and I know how I feel about this book. And it is a 5-star book for me. And I don't want you to go reading it now and being like, oh, this is the best book Paige ever read. It's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna love it with my heart and soul. Because for me, it was not about the plot. The plot, it's great, but it's been seen before, it's been done before. And the way this one went, I guessed the, you know, whodunit bits, and it's like, I'm sure y'all would too. But for me, this book just holds so much more deeper meaning and deeper conversations and things that make my noggin think that it is a 5-star book for me. And not in the way that my other 5 stars are 5 stars. This one is just more of like a quote 5-star, if that makes sense. Like, I love the words in this book. That's the best way I can put it. But yes, those are my thoughts on this book. This is the first 5-star read I've gotten in a very long time. So I'm just absolutely compelled by this book. And I can't believe the first video on this channel is going to be me getting a 5-star read. I have not gotten one since August, okay? Do not be discouraged. It's okay. It's me too. I just ate with you, I guess. Or it just kind of happened to be part of this video. But we still have one more book to read. So let me grab that and we will... I don't know if we'll read right now, but I'm gonna read it today. The last and final book that we have to read for this video is The Scratch Daughters by H.A. Clark. This is the second book in a series. Scapegracers is the first one, and I read that about a week and a half ago, and I gave it 3.5 stars, in case you are wondering. But we are going to read The Scratch Daughters now. I'm gonna let you in on a little bit of a secret. This book is on Kindle, so I will not be reading the hardback copy of it. I, in my heart right now, am a Kindle girly, and I need some Kindle time. So that is what I'm going to read it on. Right here, me little Kindle. And I am very excited to get through this book, because, God, the vibes in this book are just so vibey. But yeah, we are now going to go read The Scratch Daughters by H.A. Clark. I'm very, very excited. I don't know how I'm gonna feel after reading Fire Becomes, so I'm a little bit nervous, but let's go read a book. little chat about our book. Okay, so I have been reading the book on the Kindle like I said I was going to. However, I'm going to show you the progress in the physical book because for me this is easier to understand. I am currently on chapter 15, which is a little bit over 60% of the book, in case you were wondering. And I really don't have that much to say. This book really just builds on what happens in the first book because it is a sequel. I'm not hating it. I'm not loving it. It's just adding more, and like we're trying to solve the thing that we ended with in the last book. So there's really not much I can say without spoiling what's going on, but it's very good, and we've been introduced to some new characters who are very lovely, and I am liking it so far. I genuinely am. I really don't know what to say because I can't say anything about the plot. Writing wise, the book is very similar to the first one, where it's kind of slow in some places. It's kind of slow in some places and fast in others. However, there are a lot less grammar and spelling errors in this book compared to the first one, which is something I talked about when we read it. I don't know when we read it together. That might have been our 5-star read video. I don't know. But it is good book. Oh no, it was the fall reads video. I read it for the fall and then I posted the video in December. That's what it's from, the first one. But I am loving the characters. I really can't say much. This book for me is mostly about the banter between the characters and how they interact. This is the gayest, queerest book I have ever held in my life. Like, none of the characters who we have conversations with or know of or see the perspective of are straight. No one is straight in this book, except for the mean people, but that makes sense. I really hope it ends on a good note though, because the third one doesn't come out until like February, and that's a long time to wait for the next one. But yeah, I'm gonna go finish off the Scratch Daughters, and then we will talk about our thoughts. Okay, I have finished the Scratch Daughters, and I don't need to sit to get my rating, so let's talk about this beautiful book. As I've stated multiple times already, this is a sequel to The Scapegracers by H.A. Clarke, obviously, same author. And it's a trilogy. I just found out I don't have to wait for like a 4th book or anything. The 3rd one comes out in March of next year, and I will be reading it. This is just a very chaotic read. Like, just the writing, the way the characters interact, the way they're all witches and everybody's gay and there's fire and there's, you know, like teenagers doing teenager things. Like, I can't even explain it to you. I love it so much. So I obviously love this book. There really isn't much that I can say about this book without spoiling the first one, and I don't want to spoil the first one because this is I love this series. This is just so sweet. Actually, sweet is not the right word. If you're going to read this, please go into it with the mindset of like, this is not a kid book. It's a very much adult book. Just the topics that they talk about, and like the swearing in this book's a little out of hand, but I loved it nonetheless. It is, I love the chaos of the characters, and I love how they charactered together. And I mean, look at this cover. This cover is stunning, and it's like holographic. I love it so much. But I finished it, and I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, which is what I gave the first book as well. So I was like, oh yeah, they're totally on the same scale. Like, I didn't like this one better, I didn't like it worse. It was just same scale. Love this series. For me, so far, this would be a 4-star series. I don't know what they're gonna do in the 3rd book, because this kind of ended mostly wrapped up nice, so I really don't know what the 3rd book's gonna be about, but I'm very excited to see. But with that, we have officially finished my 2023 physical TBR that I set for myself in the beginning of the year this year, and I could not be prouder. Yes, I know that I technically didn't read that 6-book series that I had picked out, but as I mentioned before, I want to tab it, and I don't have my tabs, and I'm not gonna put myself under the stress of, oh, I didn't finish my physical TBR, because there was like nothing I could do to do it, you know? Like, right now I just don't have what I need to do what I want to do with those books. But yes, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Reading is like one of my favorite things to talk about, especially when I find good books. So I really appreciate y'all listening to me talk, and I hope that you've got some really good book recs. And yeah, that's all I really got to say. I will see you guys next week when we talk about some books some more. I'm very excited. All right, you guys. Bye!